What's up, Fit Fam? This is Coach Allie. Special request of doing a little piece on back pain from sitting at a desk all day, which I'm sure most of you have been encountering. So a little bit of an educational piece beforehand, because I think those are a priority to any exercise that's going to save your life. So for the most part, you need to understand that motion is lotion. I say it all day, every day. So when your body's in one position for too long, it's going to give you signals of tightness or pain to say, you better get up and move. So if you can, and if you're in a situation where you can actually get up and move and walk around, do some mobility exercises, or maybe part of the yoga routine with Coach Alyssa, that would be optimal. If you can't, then I'm going to give you a couple of things that you could try from a desk position. As far as modifications in positioning, that's going to be important as well. So if you have to be at a desk or in a certain environment, yeah, you can sit, but you can also change your position, and maybe you do a couple minutes in a kneeling position. Both knees, the other leg up, and now at least you're giving your body some variety as far as positioning. Instead of telling it, hey, we're in one position for 2 hours, why wouldn't this not feel good? So for you guys, I want to make sure that you either set a timer, 20 to 30 minutes on your phone, let the alarm go off. If you have the luxury of getting up, moving, that's going to take priority. Option number 2 is just vary your positioning from sitting to half kneeling, tall kneeling, and then if you do have a situation where you could do standing, that's even better. So as far as your work setup, you want to make sure that the computer or whatever you're working with is in a certain alignment. So in this situation, my monitor is a little bit too far down, and that's going to force me to kind of lean forward in order to access the space appropriately. So what I need to do is I need to build this up to a point where essentially the top of the monitor is in line with my eye. So this is still a little bit low, but at least my gaze is here. And you want to get nice and close so that those elbows can be relaxed at your side. Your wrists relaxed at your side. And then this way, you don't create so much tension. The other thing as far as back support. So a lot of you hopefully have a good desk chair that has a decent amount of low back support or lumbar support. If not, you can make your own. Grab a couple towels, roll them up. You want to sit your butt back, lean forward, stick that towel right above the tush, and then sit back. Then you can kind of loosen it up depending on what feels good for you. But the more support that you give your body, the more those muscles are going to say, okay, we can relax. If I'm away from all of my support, those muscles in the back, especially in the upper trap area, they're going to start yanking and saying, we need to help you stay upright. So if you're already in a good upright position, those muscles aren't going to be functioning in that way, hopefully not giving you the tightness and pain that you experience. So again, prioritize movement, change positions. If you can get up and walk, make sure you have the support system that you need in your chair and in your environment. Now we're going to go through a little bit of a mobility routine that you can do at your desk or at your workstation at home. So first one I like to do is doing a little decompression. So I'm going to turn and face you guys, but essentially you're going to reach your arms up as high as you can, and then with your breath you're going to try and inch your arms up towards the ceiling, and then you should feel like you kind of hit a maximum height, and then you relax. Reach those arms up, and then try and inch your way further up towards the ceiling. Again, just trying to be as long as you can from the waist up. That usually just feels good to kind of elongate all of those compressed structures from sitting for so long. Next one we're going to do is kind of like a child's pose, but using your desk. Either if you have a rolly chair, you can roll the chair back, or you could just situate the chair far back enough where you feel like you could walk your hands forward until you feel a good stretch. Then you can hold it for a couple of seconds, couple of breaths. Really poking that head through the window, getting those shoulders a good stretch, that mid-back a good stretch. You can bring your hands to one side. So my hands are on the right, my left butt, I'm going to try and sit back further into the chair. That's going to allow me to elongate that lat muscle especially. Then we can walk our hands to the other side. So my hands are to my left. I'm sitting my right butt cheek as far back as I can. Really feel a good stretch in my right lat. And you can hold that for a couple of breaths, or until you feel like that big stretch kind of alleviated. Next is just hip mobility. So you can hug a knee up to your chest. Again, that curvature of your spine is going to just open things up. So you can do a little bit of a knee to chest stretch. And then pull the knee up towards the opposite shoulder and rotate. That's going to be a good stretch for that hip and tush area. I'm going to be showing you guys on the other side in just a second. So with these stretches, you can hold them as long as you want. No absolute set time. Just really looking for that initial tension to kind of release. And then again, we're going to pull the knee up towards the opposite shoulder and then turn the body. More should feel a stretch towards that hip and tush area. You can also do a modified thread the needle. So with our arms supported here, we can rotate under, try and look through the window. And again, we're not forcing anything, we're just trying to get movement. Lubricate those joints, tell your body, we're giving you the motion that you're meant to have instead of sitting in one position for 5 hours. And again, with these, you can do repetitions, or you can kind of hold it for a stretch. The other one that I like to do is just getting the lower back moving. So these are called pelvic tilts. You want to be able to dump your pelvis forward, arching your back, dump your pelvis back, kind of rounding that low back. So you're just going to alternate between that big arch and that flattening slouch position. Again, just to lubricate the joints, give your body the sensation of movement, hopefully avoid any big stiffness when it's finally time to get up. So you can just rock as far as you feel comfortable. Now with the same kind of movement, we can also do a modified cat and cow position, similar to yoga. So with your arms anchored, we can kind of slouch the low back and tuck, and then also try and get that rounding along the spine, bringing my chin towards my chest. So I'm gonna slouch and round, really accentuating that bending forward. And then I'm gonna arch, try and get an arch in my mid-back, and I'm gonna look up at the ceiling. Maximum bending forward, chin to chest. Really try and take a few breaths to expand that rib cage. And then big arch, looking up, big round, arch, and round. Again, for you, you're not gonna have that much time, I'm assuming, between either your classes or your conference meeting or when you're in the zone doing your work. So it should be quick. It should be a couple repetitions here, maximum spine flexion and extension. Do a little bit of rotation. If your hips feel stiff, maybe you do a couple of these guys. But ultimately, it should be quick. Maybe 5 minutes of sequence, but you're gonna do it every 20 to 30 minutes. So again, if you can't change positions, if you can't physically get up, walk around, get some good movement in, these are a few things that you can try to keep that spine moving, keep those joints lubricated, and hopefully your body doesn't decide to give you sensations of tightness or pain, telling you that was just one position for way too long. Best of luck, guys. Try your best to stay pain-free. Again, motion is lotion, and see ya.